Today I'm doing my NFL Week 13 predictions. There's some good games this week. There's some bad games. Um, so let's get started. First game: Browns versus Titans. Um, they have the same record, but I think one team deserves that more than the other one. The Browns haven't. I mean, I feel like whenever the Browns play an actual really good team, then they just get demolished. They get destroyed. But I mean, I would like to see the Browns break that playoff drought and make it to the playoffs. But just because I want something to happen doesn't mean it will. This game, the Titans versus the Browns, one team is clearly better. I mean, you can take a comparison at every position. Baker Mayfield versus Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill's better. Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt versus Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's better. A.J. Brown versus Jarvis Landry. A.J. Brown's better. Austin Hooper versus Johnny Smith. I mean, I guess that's a little bit closer. But, I mean, I think Johnny Smith is probably better. Defense, probably the Titans having the better defense. I mean, it's just a pretty obvious one. I think the Titans are definitely going to take the win in this matchup. That looks bad. I need to make a better rectangle. That's better. All right. Next, the Jets versus the Raiders. Now, I have heard people saying this is going to be the biggest upset of the season, but I mean, come on. The Raiders did have a bad game last week versus the Falcons, a very bad game. It was like 43-3. Falcons didn't blow that lead, but I mean, they're not going to do it twice in a row. This is a team that earlier this season beat the Chiefs, and there's no way that they're going to lose to the Jets. If they can beat the best team, I think they can beat the worst team. So that's definitely going to be a win for the Raiders. Next game, Jaguars versus the Vikings. Now, if you watched Jaguars versus the Browns last week, Mike Glennon actually was able to keep a close game with the Browns. Vikings are obviously not as good of a team as the Browns, which is crazy I'm saying that. The Vikings are still a great team, though. They have Dalvin Cook. They have Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins has been doing okay recently. Actually, pretty good recently. Justin Jefferson, he's one of the best rookies in this past draft. Lots of talent on both sides. I mean, Mike Glennon was able to do great without their star receiver. Imagine what he'll be able to do with him. I mean, the Jaguars have all of their players. This will be a good matchup. But I mean, you have to look at who the Vikings have beat and who the Jaguars have beat. The Jaguars beat the Colts in the first game of the season. I mean, I know it was the first game of the season, but it was still an upset. That's the only game they won. They've lost every game since then. A losing streak of 10. The Vikings beat the Packers, one of the best teams in the league. And it wasn't even an upset. I mean, it makes sense. They also beat the Bears to give Kirk Cousins his first ever Monday Night Football win. Honestly, I'd like to see the Jaguars with Mike Glennon win, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think this one's going to go to the Vikings. Next game, probably the most obvious game, more obvious than the Jets and the Raiders. The Bengals, one of the worst teams without their starting quarterback. I mean, what do you think's going to happen? They're playing the Dolphins, who have been a very valid team. I mean, if the Dolphins win this week and the Bills lose this week, then the Dolphins are leading the division, I'm pretty sure. The Bills must be playing Monday night. Let me check that out. This week is going to be week 13. Yeah, I mean, the Bills versus the 49ers, the 49ers could easily win that one. I mean, the Bills are a great team, but you really never know. And I just got a notification that LeGarrette Blount just retired from the NFL. Wow. All right. Went out with 2 Super Bowl rings. Anyway, um, yeah, Bengals versus Dolphins. The Dolphins have their best team in a very long time. The Bengals, they're the Bengals. I mean, come on. Colts versus Texans. This is not. I don't think it's gonna be a good game. I mean, sure, the Texans have been playing really well recently, especially with Deshaun Watson doing as well as he is, but uh, one of their best players, if not their very best player, just got suspended. Will Fuller, their number one wide receiver, drugs. Yep, he just was having a great season and he has totally ruined it. Got suspended for the rest of the season. Uh, so the Texans probably won't be able to do a whole lot for the rest of the season. Um, they might be able to get a few lucky wins, but I don't think one of those lucky wins is going to be against the Colts. The Colts are, I mean, they're a great team. They've been playing very well. Probably have the best defense in the league this season. Philip Rivers, maybe not the best quarterback, but I mean, the best offense is a great defense, right? That's gonna be. I think that's definitely gonna be a win for the Colts. Probably one of their easier wins of the season. I don't think the Texans are really gonna be able to do a whole lot against a great team like this. Now the Lions versus the Bears. I mean, it's the Lions. The Bears are gonna win. I don't even have to explain this one. I mean, an average team versus a very, very bad team. We know who's going to win that one. All right, Saints versus Falcons. After the Falcons put up one of the biggest upsets of probably the biggest upset of the season against the Raiders, 43-3, I believe was the score. I don't think they're going to be able to do it against the Saints. I know Drew Brees is out. Taysom Hill's playing as their quarterback. But, I mean, you have to look at that team. Taysom Hill, the receivers have Emmanuel Sanders or Mike Thomas. They have Alvin Kamara. They have great defense led by Cam Jordan. I mean, the Saints are just they have always been a fantastic team, or at least in the recent years, they're always a playoff team. They can't ever seem to make it to the Super Bowl, but they're a great team every season. Then the Falcons will probably find a way to blow some sort of lead in the second half. So I'm definitely saying this one's going to the Saints. All right, the next game, the New York Giants versus the Seahawks. Um, the Giants are leading their division at I think it's 4-7. That's crazy. We're gonna have a team with a losing record in the playoffs this year. Uh, that's just that's never happened before, and it's about to. I don't think it's ever happened. That division is always very bad, but I think there's always a good team that's at least like 10-6 or something. That's crazy. Yeah. There's gonna be a team with a losing record that has a higher seed than a team with like a 10-6 or 11-5 record. That's just crazy. I mean, I don't even think they deserve to make the playoffs, but that's not what this video is about. This is about the predictions, and my prediction for this game is that the Seahawks will have an easy win. I mean, they're playing the New York Giants, worst offensive line, and they're with their backup quarterback. I mean, come on, they're gonna get sacked more times than they score. I mean, come on. Colt McCoy, he's definitely not a good quarterback right now. Probably the worst offensive line. They're probably going to get sacked around 10 times. So in fantasy, I'd be starting the Seahawks defense. Next game, Los Angeles Rams versus the Cardinals. Cardinals were just upset. There are a lot of upsets recently. They were just upset by the Patriots. Game-winning field goal by Nick Folk. It's like his third of the season. One of them was against the Jets. One of them was against the Cardinals. I mean, the Patriots are they're the weirdest team. They will play so well against great teams and so bad against bad teams. Usually bad enough to lose. The only reason they didn't lose to the Jets because the Jets are just that bad. Anyway, this is about the Cardinals and the Rams, not the Patriots and the Jets. Both two great teams. I mean, this game could really go either way. This is going to be probably one of the best games of the week. It's going to be close, I think. Kyler Murray hasn't been having his best games recently, but he's still a great quarterback, probably an MVP candidate. He may be 5'10" or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, look at it. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He has maybe the best wide receiver in the league. I don't think so, but one of the best wide receivers in the league right now. One of the best wide receivers of all time. Larry Fitzgerald and DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, he's got so many weapons. Kenyon Drake is I don't know. Is he overrated or is he overhated? Maybe he's underrated. I don't know. He has a good game or he has a bad game. Now, the Rams, when you think of the Rams, you think of their star-studded defense. Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald on the same defense. I mean, that's just completely dominant. This is one of the best offenses versus one of the best defenses. This will be a great matchup. I don't really even know who I think is going to win this one. I think I'm going to go with... I really don't know. I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this one, actually. But at the same time, I feel like I want to go with the Rams. I don't really even know. Alright, wait, let me change the color. Can I do that? Just so I can remember what color I was at. Let's just make it like blue. I guess, I don't know. So I'm just gonna say blue Cardinals. So I think that's what's gonna happen, but it could definitely go either way. I don't really even have an opinion on that one. And I said I was gonna want to remember what it was, but I already forgot it. So I know it was like an orange. So let's just go with that. Yeah, close enough. Patriots versus Chargers, another great team. Or another not great teams. They're not great teams. They're pretty bad teams actually this season. But good matchup, I think. I feel like the Patriots are probably gonna manage to lose this one, but at the same time, Chargers are usually able to manage to lose all of their other games too. But I mean, the Chargers have like a full power team. All their players are healthy, I believe. They have Joey Bosa. He's back. Got 3 sacks last week. They have Austin Eckler back. Justin Herbert's still there. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. They're just such a great team. I don't know what is wrong. I think it's just their coaching. Anthony Lynn's a terrible coach. They definitely need to get rid of him. So the Patriots, they cannot seem to do anything this season. Cam Newton is not living up to the expectations. A lot of their players are injured, or at least have opted out for the season. They just have not been playing well this season, and I don't think they're going to be able to be a fully powered Chargers team, so I'm giving this one to the Los Angeles Chargers, not the San Diego Chargers, Los Angeles. All right. The Eagles versus the Packers, one of the best teams versus one of the worst teams. I mean, this is. Do you really have to think about this one? I'm sorry to all the Eagles fans out there, Tristan. But they're gonna get absolutely destroyed. This is definitely going to the Packers. All right, the Broncos versus the Chiefs. Come on, come on. What chance do the Broncos have of beating the Chiefs? I mean, they're the Chiefs. They're not gonna win. Yeah. The Monday night game is the 49ers versus the Bills. I know I was just saying that the 49ers have a chance of winning, but I think that the Bills have a better chance of winning, and I think they are going to come out with the victory. Then the last game is the Ravens versus the Cowboys on Tuesday. Ravens have not been doing great. I'm gonna be completely honest. 6-5, not a record to be happy about. Especially for that team that, especially with what they did last year, definitely not playing the same as they did. What I mean, they're playing the Cowboys. Maybe one of the worst coaches. Uh, maybe one of the worst quarterbacks. Probably, I don't know. Maybe he is the worst quarterback. That's at least starting right now. Andy Dalton. They have great wide receivers, but you can't. Wide receivers can't do anything if they don't have a good quarterback throwing to them. And Andy Dalton's not that good quarterback that they need. The Ravens are going to come out with that one, and with an easy win. They're going to go up to 7-5. Going to be battling with the Browns for that wild card playoff spot. I mean, you never know. Maybe they could both make it. I'd like to see the Browns make it, but it could really go either way. So those were my Week 13 NFL predictions. Did you agree? Is there anything you'd change? If so, leave that down in the comments. Tell me what you agree, disagree, how you would change my predictions. What are your predictions for this week, or anything about football? Any suggestions that maybe you want me to make a video on, like a top 10 list, a top 15 list, any other type of predictions. I am going to be doing playoff predictions when that comes around. That's going to be in about 4 weeks. This week is week 13, so yeah, about 4 weeks. I guess 5 weeks because it doesn't start on week 17. That's the last week of the NFL regular season. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get notifications whenever I upload another football video kind of like this one. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.